Hey, welcome back to another edition of Limited Skills. I'm James.
And I'm Brandon.
I dropped my keyboard. That's how I turn the things on, guys.
Just slammed.
Ixalan, this is our fourth draft, third video, because life happens. I'm doing crazy things with the camera. We can't tell what you're drafting. It's terrible.
I hardly am, based on past experiences.
Oh, what are you drafting? I see green stuff. I see white stuff. I know you like blue stuff in this
There
set.
were a few good... I do like blue stuff in the set. I'm not always drafted or, lured towards blue, but I have found myself playing blue a lot. Maybe that's been my mistake so far. I was real excited about this sneaky pirate guy you can make unblockable.
Yeah, unblockable's good. Wait, is it the rare?
Yes.
Okay.
I like that Squire fine. I like the combat trick fine.
Oh, sure.
I think for valuable creatures, that's a really good 2-drop.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if it's unblockable in blue, it's just sort of like, it's otherwise a mediocre creature. But he gets a cool ability.
Yeah, and it proved to be useful.
What was it? Was it a draw card?
You loot when it hits.
Okay.
And for 3 mana, it's unblockable. So
Sure. I've had conversations with people who say that, sometimes looting feels bad if you don't have any cards in hand because you draw a card to immediately discard it. But I have folks tell me that you should always draw the card because at that point it just represents information. Even if you're going to discard it right away, now you know what cards are in, what you still have left in your deck, what's coming.
it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I don't know. It sort of feels counterintuitive, but it made a certain kind of sense to me.
So I almost went with this Deadeye Tracker with the thought of, I'd have 2 sweet black-blue rare pirates, like cheap, low curve.
Yeah.
I think that tracker seems fine, but it wasn't enough to pull me into it, so I thought I'd just follow with my good blue pick and get some more card advantage.
Yeah. That card's sweet. I've gotten value off of him before.
So my first 2 picks I've never drafted before or played in Limited at all.
Oh, and there's some legendary merfolk thing, right?
Yeah. And I wanted to take it... you can see I was pushing myself hard to not just take the whatever rare. At this point, I hadn't drafted any Merfolk, and I assumed I was going down the pirate route, and it would just be 3 for a 2/2. That's kind of hard to kill, but
Sure.
Who cares because it's a 2/2?
Yeah. What else? What else? Water Tap Reaver is... That guy's name is so hard to say.
Water Trap Weaver.
Yeah. He's good.
Not knowing where I was going, like, if you just had a deck full of Water Trap Weavers, you'd probably just win outright. So it's good value even if you're not playing Merfolk. Like,
Okay.
It's just worth playing if you're playing blue at all. And then I got 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's a
and I was
great,
feeling real excited about being in blue.
It's a great 3-mana 2/2.
At this point, I've gotten a 2-drop with evasion and carded looting. And then a 3-drop with card advantage and 2 3-drops that give me evasion and defense.
Yeah. No, that seems sweet so far. Now there's Pounce, which is a sort of interesting removal spell because it requires that you have a thing that doesn't die. Conqueror's Galleon is a goofy card, which is good in control, but I don't think you're going that way.
No, I did not seem to be at this point. I'm interested to try Conqueror's Galleon sometimes, but I think it fits into a very small amount of decks.
I've had it run over me, but yeah, it was in that deck that wanted to play the long game and then had huge things to recur.
I haven't played a slow deck in the format yet, and I think they exist, but I haven't seen the opportunity for it if it's been there.
It's probably better in sealed.
So not knowing exactly what I was doing, I was real excited to pick this. It sort of has mixed feedback from the community, but I already had some pirates I liked and some merfolk that I liked a lot.
Okay.
So I thought, at the least, it would get me 2 good cheap creatures back with the potential of, I could still play a dinosaur or whatever the other thing is.
That Chalice, I don't know what it does, Hierophant's Chalice, but it reminds me of Innistrad, and it weirds me out whenever I see it in somebody's hand.
Just because it drains a life, I think, when it comes into play.
Yeah.
Or they just lose a life.
Something like that. She picked up an enchantment that gives +2/+2 in flying.
Yeah, I don't usually play auras, but that has proven to just be really good. Some of the removal can't... I don't know, like a lot of the red stuff does 3 damage or 2 damage. So if you make your 2/2 into a 4/4 flying on curve, it's very threatening.
Sure.
This is a format where I think the auras on creatures are worth the risk because they're good enough and the removal is not good enough to always hose you and punish you for playing it.
I feel like auras generally have been trending that way.
Yeah.
They want to make them a little bit more playable.
I think more so in limited, it depends on, like I mentioned, how much the removal is in the set.
Yeah, that's true. Because if they can just kill your thing, it doesn't matter how great the aura is.
And I'm personally finding removal to not be very good in this set.
Yeah, which was surprising, because I remember when at Sealed, I thought there was a lot of good removal.
A lot of it's situational or sorcery speed. Or... Man, the amount of times I've seen people play that 3 damage red spell and try and do it as an instant, and they're so sad.
I'm pretty sure I've done it at least once.
Were you so sad?
Oh, I mean, my whole experience in Ixalan has just been sad, so... I'm a sad dinosaur. Prosperous pirate, get rich. Or Mark of the Vampire, get thirsty. Duress?
I'd be happy playing either of those. So far, my curve is so low that I don't think those prosperous pirates would do much. Like, they wouldn't be ramping me into something.
Sure.
And I've been 2 colors so far.
Yeah.
I think the treasures are good, especially if you're playing the pirate theme, because you can, get your 3rd color easier that way. But,
And so many cards care about.
so, specific reason I went with the duress there.
Yeah, explain that.
Because I already took one of those 2/2 flying auras, and it was a way I figured I could pick out the removal before I put that on the board.
Sure.
So it was preemptive protection of an aggressive, risky
that
combat
makes sense.
tactic.
Especially if you've got an extra mana floating and you want to cast your, what are they, 2 mana and 3 mana?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, you've got 3 mana, you duress them, hit their burn spell, play your enchantment, and then they're sad. Man, I'm glad that Chalice wheeled. That was a real boon.
So this is weird because I am really committed into blue-black, but I haven't really gone tribal.
Yeah.
I've got some alright, I guess kind of mediocre pirates, really, and then some good common merfolk, but nothing that really cares about those.
Yeah, nothing super exciting yet.
And this is the first time I've drafted a deck that isn't leading down that path.
Skullduggery. I just like saying that, Skullduggery.
It's also a sweet card.
Yeah. Jungle Delver. Ancient Bronodon. And that big old dinosaur. He's big. Does that card say Wily Goblin?
Yes.
I haven't seen Wily Goblin yet. Oh, and look, there's another legendary.
Yeah, I was excited to see this because I don't have that mythic.
Ooh.
And then I just decided to be an adult.
Pass it. Don't need it. It's probably in a pack you got somewhere else.
That's a good point. So Tempest Caller following suit with just tapping all their stuff.
Creatures. That seems legit.
I realized that the merfolk I've already drafted, the Water Trap Weavers, and that guy are super effective with raid. Because it lets me get my raid triggers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the merfolks just want to be pirates.
Ooh, there's a foil one. Or you could take a Burning Suns avatar.
Yeah, if it were
splash
double
that.
red, I'd probably splash for it. But yeah, the triple red made that not really an option.
Now you got
Or
3.
if I drafted more treasures, perhaps.
Yeah, if you had picked that Prosperous Pirate, that was a precarious sentence.
Porky pigging it up.
Yep. Run aground on those unknown shores with that swashbuckling. I'm done now. Vanquish the Weak's good. Does that say Lurking Chocolate? No, Chupacabra.
I think, regardless of colors, Vanquish the Weak was hands down the best pick in that pack. The bounce spells, I would be happy picking if I weren't in black.
I like Tillinolli's Skin Shifter just as a generic card. I think it's cool.
God, I also think it's cool. People make fun of me for thinking it's cool. I haven't even gotten to play it yet. I drafted it 1 week and never drew it.
I played it once. It was fine. Like, it didn't win me the game, but it was cool, which is what I wanted it to be. Oh, what's that red enchantment that cascades? It doesn't cascade, but it cascades. It's like where your spell costs
Awake
X.
the Firebird,
Yeah,
Firebirds,
something like that. I have played that in so many sealed pools and drafted it in so many decks, and I finally got to play it for the first time in Commander on Friday night.
It was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
It was neat. It didn't win me the game, but it did cool stuff.
I refused to answer it. I was blowing up way less important threats just because I always like when chaotic cards, I like to let them happen.
Oh, Prosperous Pirates. Just in case you want to splash later now?
Yeah.
Making sure these cards are lined up nice before you look at them. So, I haven't really paid a huge amount of attention to anything else that's going around. I've seen a decent amount of red.
Yeah, I think red could have been open enough that I could have gone into it or splashed perhaps. But really, the signals seem pretty clear. I felt like I had a really good blue or black pick in every pack.
Yeah, it seemed like it so far. So now you're looking at Sailor of Means, the Spell Pierce, and Crash the Ramparts?
That one's just hanging out in there. Sailor Means is too slow. Oh, I thought I picked the other one. Man. Well, I don't know why I picked that. I was probably just going the treasure route again in case I wanted to splash in. I think I was still counting on going Grixis. What?
You go back.
Oh! Yes! So in a very unprofessional move, I decided how awful that move was, and I just picked it back up and switched it. Okay. Right, so bonus pick, something to get you disqualified at competitive level. Don't do that, but at your local Friday Night Magic store, I'm sure that's fine.
I think people will usually let it go as long as you haven't picked up the previous pack.
Yeah, once you see new information, then you are cheating, whether you mean to or not. But yeah, I just sat it down, decided that was stupid. Okay, so that completes my thought process, because I blew myself away when I saw that Sailor Means. I was like, man, why'd I do that? Following the aura strategy, the Spell Pierce is really good protection. I can play it and then have 1 mana open very easily to protect from their trick.
Yep.
And that aura that gives +2/+2 and flying is actually a game ender. If your opponent can't answer it,
sure,
whatever size creature you have on curve, it's going to kill them at a very threatening
minimum,
pace.
it is a 3/3.
Yeah.
Before they play a threat that can answer it, yeah. Oh, look, there's that mythic.
Oh, I got it. I got it, guys.
Rewarded. See?
Very happy about that. That's going to go in no deck, because that's what I do with these cards.
You've got a couple of EDH decks kicking around.
So here this pick is entirely just based on what would be worst against my deck.
Sure.
And I figured the hexproof thing.
That makes sense.
And especially a lot of my creatures are 2/2s.
Yeah, so
and
3/3.
Yeah, a 3/3 that I wouldn't even be able to tap down would have been very stressful for me.
Run aground. Dive down. Oh, hexproof.
I have
the 1 mana hexproof.
I don't want to play that in every deck, but I also played that as a 1-drop way to protect my auras.
Yeah.
All 3 of the 1-drops that I drafted with that in mind, those were the only 3, were very effective on curve for doing exactly the reason I drafted them.
Okay. That sort of makes sense, because I was wondering why you picked... I mean, like, they are fine cards, but sometimes I thought there may have been something better in the pack. It feels like you are primarily blue. Like, you could probably cut out a lot of your black and just go straight blue. Yeah, I think you would end up with a worse deck, but, like, man, you got a lot of blue cards.
Yeah, all my best cards are blue, for sure. There was probably opportunity thinking about some of the things that I passed. I think I could have done blue-green Merfolk pretty effectively again. But also every time I thought I'd done it effectively in the past, I went 2-1. So
yeah, that's true. Well, the last time, didn't you go 3-0?
I went 3-0 with this draft.
This was the first one that you won.
I realized upon winning that this is the first limited event of this set that I have won.
Wow.
Which made me feel bad, but thanks for listening to me anyway, guys.
Oh, Axis of Morality. You have so many of this card.
No, the last one I drafted I lost, so I took this one.
Is there anything else really worth it here? Siren's Lookout, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's what I would go with just for the flyer. I thought about maybe the Quartermaster in the case of there's still potential of something coming around that I could add to my deck that I can tutor for.
Sure.
I think generically just having another flyer would be better if I don't have a tutor target.
Yeah. Man, give the flyer lifelink? So good.
Oh, there was a lot of that to be had.
I bet. Bishop of the Blood. He's good. Blood something. Blood Party. Man, you picked that up so fast. It's like someone did some editing or something.
I'm just actually that fast, James.
There's another dive down. Is that the one that gives +0/3 in hexproof?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's proven to be very good.
Sure. Wanted Scoundrels. Ooh, give that guy flying. Or Vraska. That's fine too.
Yeah. I figured I had drafted just enough treasures that I might splash for it. I ended up not doing that because then I didn't feel obligated to play those treasure creatures, which I didn't want to play otherwise.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I haven't gotten to use her, and she is very good, limited.
But you have taken 3 of the 4 mythics that you've seen tonight.
Yes. Wait, what was the 4th one?
There was that legendary Merfolk in the
No, she tabled. I got her. So I got 3 of the 3.
Not the blue-green. There was a...
Oh, that's not a mythic, though.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I took every mythic I saw, James. Even though the table had 7 chances to stop me from one of them.
Oh, I like that Skymarch Bloodletter. He's a 2/3 flyer who life drains when he enters the battlefield.
2/2, I think, but
2/2?
yeah, he is very good.
He's
3 mana. Yeah, I just take this. I'd have enough Merfolk that he was on most of the time. That was the first and maybe only tribal card I drafted
Okay.
The whole night, but it very consistently had flying when I wanted it to.
Trying to see like what else is here besides obvious blue cards.
There have been a lot of, red removal I think has been going around pretty late, or just efficient creatures.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I really feel like was maybe getting picked heavily at the rest of the table was white.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen a lot of white cards. Unless they've been sort of mediocre. That guy seems good.
Yeah, I always thought they were okay, especially if you have comes into play triggers, which I did. I ended up with 3 of those water trap weavers.
Yeah.
So I did get to spam those effects.
Nice.
As well as having a 3/2 unblockable and then giving it 2/2 in lifelink off Mark of the Vampire is very frustrating for the opponent. I had piles of evasion. I had creatures with unblockability, flying, and the tapping down the occasional thing that could be. Anyway, I pretty much just played creatures and swung every turn all night long. This deck was very good, which surprised me a little. I thought going down a 2-color not tribal strategy was going to hose me. I thought I was just going to get screwed, but it was by far my best deck.
I like that Vicious Conquistador. That guy's weird. Oh, I guess he gets an enchantment, doesn't he?
He gets a...
Was it artifact or...
He gets a equipment or...
Yeah.
A vehicle, I believe?
Yeah, equipment or vehicle.
Which I drafted none of, turns out.
Yep.
If I drafted one, I probably would play it.
Sure.
This is me taking a 10-cent rare.
But to be fair, was there anything else worth taking?
No.
10-cent rare or a 5-cent common?
I think one of the 5-cent commons was one of those hexproof things I wanted to not play against, but whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Both of those would be frustrating against me.
Yep. No, we're going to look at Anthony's deck.
Yeah, we're always interested in what Anthony's doing.
Because it's always
Hey, which of these big, giant, expensive dinosaurs is better?
Oh, I love Anthony's decks. Because he'll be like, well, I drafted, green-white, but also I took all these red cards.
I curved out pretty low. I think I ran 16 lands. I really consistently had a 2-drop and then a 3-drop, and then I'd cast auras and protect it with my Spell Pierce or Hexproof spell. This was, like I said, very good. And it hadn't... We were just talking last week, I think, where we feel like people complain about this set because it bottlenecks you into an archetype of a tribe.
Yeah.
And I was in full agreement of that. And after this draft, I'm wondering if maybe I was just doing it wrong or just looking at it wrong, because this was not a tribal deck. It was just blue-black good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, maybe part of the reason is when people are playing Merfolk heavily, there's no way I'd be getting that many Water Trap Weavers.
Right.
So maybe the tribal emphasis will dilute those strategies for not being tribal sometimes. But
that makes sense.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And it's going to sort of help me reevaluate maybe my future drafts, realizing this.
So then what do you think about, like, dinosaurs as an example? Because there are some dinosaurs that really are only good if you have other dinosaurs. But I guess that's true of all the tribal cards, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. For example, that merfolk that I passed, the legend that makes it harder to kill your merfolk or target them.
Yeah.
If I were playing merfolk, that would be pretty good, but I almost spent a pick on it when I didn't know I was playing merfolk already, and it's just really good that I didn't force myself into that strategy because the not tribal card was better, generically.
Yeah, in a vacuum. That makes sense. Yeah, because it would have been real easy for you to pick the legendary merfolk, and then now you're going to force merfolk.
Yeah, I probably would have prioritized them higher instead of the best pick. So I think that's a good place to close.
Yep. Have a good night, guys. Thanks
Later.
for watching.